These are part Mom's peppers, part mine, but she takes care of them, and I just love them. And I'm gonna pick the one just right here, and I'm gonna eat it. These are all my pretty carrots. Mom bought me carrot seeds, and then when we got home, I planted them. This was a bed that Aubrey and I did just by ourselves. We dug the holes and we planted them and we covered them up. We eat organically because there's no telling what chemicals they use at the store, but when we do have to go to the store, we'll go to the organic aisle and get like organic apples and sometimes carrots, because since we grow them out there, we don't really have a big need for carrots from the store.
Indeed, the Burnson family does most of their food shopping at home in a garden tended by the whole family.
We started about 6 years ago. When the kids were all really little, we learned how important it was to eat organically. We were living in town and we just had 2 of these little boxes, and I was just amazed at how gratifying it was to eat your own food that you grew. We had so much fun.
Since buying a century-old house in Plum near LaGrange, their garden just keeps growing.
It's really saved money. We grow over 30 different things. The kids are eating things now that they wouldn't have before. Since April 1st, we've harvested 912 pounds from this garden. So not only are we growing probably 75% of all the fruits and vegetables that we eat, but we also sell all the extra to a restaurant here in town, the Bistro 108. So it's also provided a source of income for us. And the kids are so excited because they get to sell the stuff that they grow also. It's nice to teach them about entrepreneurship at this age.
They fence the garden against deer and errant balls. When Brienne's mother Lori visits, the kids can't wait to show her what's coming up.
These are my carrots, and this is my sign that shows that they're mine.
As homeschool parents, Brienne and William conduct lessons in botany, horticulture, entomology, weather, and problem solving.
These guys all can tell the difference between a sprouting carrot and a weed. They can identify all the different plants because they know which ones to pick when we're weeding and which ones not to. My son helped to do all the drip irrigation.
These little things that poke out of here that are attached to these, they have little things you can turn on to control how much water comes out of here.
It's a great way for the kids to learn practical things.
They dig into soil geology.
This is all solid clay. And when it rains, it just holds water, solid clay. So the walkways and everything is just mulch. It's mulch that we've been adding to over the years, but it's actually turned into just gorgeous soil down here. The beds are the Mel's mix, the 1/3 peat moss, the 1/3 vermiculite, and the 1/3 compost. And then the raised part over here, there's the 1/3 topsoil that we had brought in, 1/3 mushroom compost, and 1/3 mulch. We use the fish emulsion, seaweed, molasses, different things, and of course we have our own compost piles.
We don't use chemicals because it's poison for the weeds, but it can also poison the carrots, and and that's why we just pull the weeds.
To fend off grasshoppers and summer squash vine borers, Brienne covers beds with wetting tool.
It's the preventative method for keeping the bugs off instead of using the pesticides. But it's also great to keep the kids out of it because the little ones tend to not care so much about where they walk and step.
Trellises maximize space.
It helps to keep the vegetables and the fruits off the ground so that the ants and bugs can't get into them, but it also saves space and allows us to grow a lot more in a smaller area. We grow all our cantaloupes on these trellises, and the first year we had this garden, we had 7 plants here, and we grew 60 cantaloupes. We do our peas on the trellises, we do our tomatoes on the trellises.
And I helped to get their vines to get on the string that we put on.
In the springtime, we actually double duty the trellises. We'll have our peas coming up one side, and they'll use both of these trellises here, and they'll be growing and all the way up to the top. And when it's time to put the cantaloupe in, we'll plant them on this side so that by the time the peas are done, the cantaloupe will be coming up and over on the other side.
The young Burnsons are way ahead of their class about how and when food grows.
We're growing broccoli right here now, but in the summer we would be growing squash and watermelons.
The potatoes were where the broccoli are now, and the day we harvest potatoes is the day that the sweet potatoes go in their same spot. The garden doesn't have an empty spot in it ever. We harvest year-round. It's all been self-taught, and it's just been within the last couple of years. So anybody can do this. You don't have to grow up having a background in it, and you can learn it at any age or stage of your life.
This is broccoli, and this is zinnias, and this is petunias.
It always amazes me what they'll eat out here raw that they won't eat, that's been cooked. If you buy food at the grocery store and you prepare it using conventional methods, they'll sit on their plate and they'll complain. But when you bring them out in the garden, you can't hardly keep their hands off the vegetables, and they'll sit out here and they'll eat the same raw vegetables out here right off the vine that they would never have eaten at the supper table.
I like the carrots the most because on the outside they kind of have a little bit of dirt on them, but on the inside they taste kind of juicy and yummy.
All right, here I'm gonna get one from here. Mama says that you have to get side shoots, not the middle ones. The dianthus are edible, and they taste good. I was planting Mommy's turnips, and then she had extra seeds, so she let me plant mine. And then for my carrots, she got a pitchfork and she helped me to make some lines after I patted it down. These are all my strawberries. My mom and I have just started planting them.
I think I planted these carrots 1 month ago.
What they don't eat, can, or freeze, they sell.
This is our basil, and we actually started growing that for the Bistro 108. They go through quite a bit of it, and so we started planting it just for them. When we gardened in town, I remember how special it was to have enough of a vegetable to have it with supper. It's such a gratifying feeling, not just to have that one little bowl with that one tomato you finally grew, but now we have enough that, all our tomato sauce comes from here that we can, and all the jelly we have comes from our strawberries. And
there's been times we've had suppers where there'll just be bowls of vegetables and we won't even have a meat dish or a main dish. We'll just sit there and eat the vegetables.
Special ownership comes with tiny gardens, thanks to cattle feed buckets from the recycling center.
This is my name. There's Abrams, Aubrey's, and Caitlin's.
Everybody crafted a stepping stone of their very own.
We made the stepping stones by first we made the cement, and we got some round bowls, and so we poured it all in there, and then we smoothed it out with a piece of tile, and then we put the glass things in and the shells, and then we put the tiles in, and we let it dry overnight.
As a family, they built a pergola with recycled materials. The Burnson kids even built their own Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew clubhouse with pallets from the recycling center. These youngsters aren't heading into the future without a clue.
Once we have all this abundance of food, they've learned how to can, they've learned how to freeze, we've learned how to cook all these different recipes.
And all this is by God's grace and our hard work.